Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of CardBlitz. I'm your host, Kelly Reed, joined by my good friend, the Beast in the East, Patrick Marshall. Patrick, how's it going, man?
Good. What's going on? How you guys doing
Uh,
today?
it's
How you
another
doing,
happy
Kelly?
Saturday, man. It's another happy Saturday here in the Big D. And man, you got a lot going on, man, with baseball season and the NFL draft coming up in a few weeks. And I heard there's this thing called golf going on.
Man, if you live under a rock, you I mean you probably heard about the Masters. The Masters tournament's going on this weekend. Huge in golf. It's the first major of the year. Very exciting. Even for people who are not really into golf. I mean, it's definitely I think worth tuning in, and it's enjoyable. But we've got a pretty good battle this year. You've got a defending champion named Rory McIlroy, and he's currently leading the Masters again. So he's trying to do something that has only been done like three times and win back-to-back Masters. And made me do a little bit of show and tell because I started looking into some history of the Masters, and the one player to win it the most is this man right here, Jack Nicklaus. He's won it six times. 63, 65, 66, 72, 75, and 86. And in case you guys are wondering, Tiger Woods has only won it five times. And then next after that was Arnold Palmer at four times. So tune in. It should be a great finish to the Masters. It's a pretty good sports weekend. So that's all I want to say about golf because I'm big. I love golf, man. It's great.
Do you think that like for the folks that follow golf, I mean, card collectors, do you think there are many of those in the card community that play, that follow the sport, that collect golf cards? And is that a big part of this hobby that you know?
It's interesting because I grew up watching a guy named Bernard Longer play, and I think it would be cool being a golfer and being a fan of a player who's obviously now he's retired, but it'd be cool to have a couple of his cards. So yeah, I would say there's a cross between the two. I think it's pretty neat.
I mean,
So
everyone knows about like Tiger Woods, and
yeah,
recently he appeared in the news again
yeah,
for something he doesn't want to be known for. Uh,
right.
I mean, do you think that to the casual fan, Tiger Woods is still like the collectible piece, or is it more the Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear? Is it some of these other guys?
I
What do you
think
think, man? Because you're the golf expert. I know nothing about this sport.
that's pretty interesting. Maybe Jack Nicklaus is like the Mickey Mantle of the golfing collectible world. His cards should never go down. They're one of those collectibles where he's a legend. And then you have the younger players coming in, like maybe Rory McIlroy, who is, he's not that exactly young anymore. I think he's been on the tour of like 17 or 18 years. So, he's got a little bit of gray hairs, but maybe he's kind of like your Aaron Judge or somebody who is, if you want to translate over to baseball, as far as collecting, as far as somebody who's new and, well, not new, but his value is increasing as well as he keeps winning majors. So yeah, I think it's pretty neat. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Rory card. I think it's pretty cool. Like maybe a Masters card from last year, or maybe this year. You don't know what's going to happen. So
Well, I think Upper Deck just came out with a golf set again this year for the first time in like 25 years.
it's pretty neat. Yeah,
That'd
I'd
be
like
cool,
to.
man.
Yeah, I would dabble in that. I mean, I'm gonna go pick up a box. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Just maybe I keep it for another 10 years. Some of the packs unopened. I don't know,
I
but
wonder if Sports Illustrated, remember like back 25 years ago, the Tiger Woods Sports Illustrated card was the card to have. And
yeah,
I
yep.
wonder if Sports Illustrated has continued to make those like golf cards.
Yeah, that's this is something we should dive into one because that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure about that, but it'd be neat to see what's out there. So
Well, where do you want to go next, man? Because unless a Card Blitz viewer says, "Hey, I know a lot about golf and golf collectibles," reach out to us, send us an email. Patrick and you will have a field day talking golf, and I'll just moderate.
let's talk about some birthday boys today.
All
How's
right,
that
man.
sound?
Who you got on this Saturday, man?
This particular person really resonated with me because when this particular gentleman right here, Mr. Bret Saberhagen, has turned 62 years old today. When he jumped on the scene, I was really getting into collecting for the first time. And this 85 top set, which I've talked about before and we've discussed, this is his rookie card. And Bret, he played from 84 to 99. And I remember him vividly because when he jumped on the scene, he exploded on the scene. I mean, his fastball was pinpoint accuracy. A great pitcher. He single-handedly pretty much helped the Royals win the World Series in '85 by beating the Cardinals. And I did not really enjoy the Cardinals because they were in the National League with the Astros. So it was kind of fun to see. They're kind of like the underdog Royals, I think, at the time. Or I remember really getting behind them and going, "Wow, this is great!" And they beat them in 7 games in the World Series. And Bret Saberhagen was an All-Star, and he won the Cy Young, and he was the World Series MVP that year as well. So they ended up winning 2 Cy Youngs, '85 and '89, 3-time All-Star, so like 170 career wins. Um, what's interesting about him too is he was eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2007, and he says that's great and all, but he was famously quoted for saying, "Even if I get into Cooperstown, I'm not going to the ceremony because I think Pete Rose should be inducted." So he made a stance on that back in the day, and he got 7 votes for the Hall of Fame, and it never happened after that. He was dropped off the ballot, I think, the next year or the year after that. So,
So he
Mr. Bret
rubbed some guys the
Saberhagen,
wrong way with that comment, huh?
yeah, yeah, Mr. Bret Saber. I mean, he's kind of like the guy you'd want to be as a pitcher, just tough, great fastball, and he was one of those guys when I was a kid that I was like, this is cool. I got to have his card. So pretty
Well,
neat.
yeah, I mean, obviously, the Royals were in the World Series in '80 against the Phillies, and then they get back there 5 years later, win it all. Um, you mentioned the Brett Saberhagen comment about Cooperstown.
Yeah.
Do you think Pete Rose gets in, in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think it's just a matter of time now?
Yeah. I think so. I mean,
Him, Joe Jackson, uh,
yeah.
some of
Yeah.
the other guys from that White Sox team back in the day.
Yeah. I can't remember what the hall calls it, but they have that like cooperative write-in ballot or something that happens, and Saberhagen's on that as well. Once you get dropped from your eligibility ballot, I guess you can be written in by writers. So it's interesting to see how views change over the years. So yeah, I think it'd be
The
pretty
Veterans
interesting.
Committee,
Yeah,
what do they
yeah.
call it?
It's
Yeah.
I mean, there's a committee for a committee. It's I mean, it's pretty neat. But I thought this was a great birthday, so it was kind of fun to dig a little into some of the details about Saberhagen. So and go through some old cards too, which is fun.
That is fun, man. Well,
Yeah,
my birthday boy turns 46 today. He's affectionately known here as Tex, not Big Tex, just
yeah,
Tex, not
yeah.
even little Tex, just Tex. And he had 409 home runs, throughout his playing career. He played for the Rangers, got traded over to the Braves, which helped the Rangers with some key pieces for their World Series run, in 2010, 2011. Uh, Bounced around though after that. He went to the Angels for like a few weeks, I feel like, and then ended up with the Yankees. Won a World Series there. It's none other than Mark Teixeira.
Nice. Yeah, he was a good hitter. I mean, he could do it all, and he was a pretty good fielder too. I remember.
Oh yeah,
He
he
was,
won 5 Gold Gloves.
yeah,
He got himself what is it, All-Star 3 times. 2009 was his year, man, because he won a World Series with the Yankees, but he
okay.
also led the AL in home runs, led the AL in RBIs.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, got reunited with A-Rod, and yeah, man, they both won a title there in New York in 2009.
God, I almost forget that little patch of history right there because I mean that's pretty neat. Yeah, I forgot all about that trade and what it did for the Rangers run.
Oh, definitely, man. And the thing, doing a little research on Tex, I completely forgot he was a switch hitter.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, just that just kind of like light bulb went off. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. He had a lot of tools and had a lot of potential. And then he started off really hot and got traded, brought some key pieces over, and hey, he still had a great career. And he's apparently running for the House of Representatives here in Texas in District 21.
okay,
He's a
interesting.
Republican. And
Wow,
he's the district's just southwest of like Austin and northwest of San Antonio.
okay.
So we'll see. When that happens, these midterm elections, see if he gets voted in.
Yeah, I wonder did he get like how many hits did he have in his career? He's probably got like 2,200 or 2,300, something like that.
I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
For me, I like looking at the home runs thing because I know
Yeah.
he's not like you know, his batting average was like 260, so I don't think he had the most hits in the world,
Okay.
obviously, but
I just remember getting maybe he just had clutch hits over over the years.
at times, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was good. Yeah. I liked him.
But
So,
you know, with him running for government, it kind of got me thinking like how many other athletes have had successful careers, you know, serving the people in government.
yeah.
And that might be an episode you and I could delve into in the future, man. Just something to
Yeah.
think about, man.
I bet that list is longer than we think. And it's probably got some very notable names on it. So if you go back through the years. So,
Yeah, and if CardBlitz viewers, you know, if you guys have some comments, chime in below, man. Let us know what you're thinking of
yeah.
successful athletes that had careers, or just athletes that had careers in politics, man. I'm just curious
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I like that too. That's good.
Well, let's get a little show and tell, man. What you got?
All right. So
Because
I've
you're
been
digging
going
for like
back.
old cards, right?
Yeah, I've been going back through. I'm a big 1975 Topps set guy, and I've got a near mint set, and I keep trying to improve on the set, and I've made it a point this year to go get some key pieces and upgrade. But these two cards I came across, these are Topps archive cards of the 1975 Topps set, and it's funny how I could come across a card like this, Ryan Sandberg in a 75 Topps card, super cool to me. I came across it and it just ignited a passion to go after and upgrade my 75 top set. It's interesting how you can see one card and this Cody Bellinger, that's pretty cool too. But just the condition of how mint these cards are, it really struck something. I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to go back and go through and start upgrading a little bit. So that's kind of like I'm on a new path. I have a new goal for the end of the year. So do a little upgrading on my 75 top set. So I thought those cards were cool, and I just wanted to show them. I mean, I think they're really neat.
How,
Yeah,
I mean, how many more cards do you think you need to upgrade on that 75 top set to make sure
I've
to
got.
get to the point where you're happy and you're like, man, this is the near mint set that, and is it a binder set? Is it in a box?
Well, it was a binder set for years, and then I put them all in top loaders like this, and I'm just going to keep them for. It's a PC. I'm going to keep it for next 30 years, and I can go through and look at them one at a time if I need to. But I had them in a binder, and I just took them out because the binder was old. It was like 25 years old. Had them in top loaders, and I just started kind of upgrading. And I probably have about 38 cards that need to be upgraded to mint. So one of the main ones is I just purchased yesterday was a Harmon Killebrew, which I'm pretty excited about. And so it's probably like $10. But I'm doing it little piecemeal here and there, taking my time. One of the big ones I need to upgrade is Jim Rice. That's his rookie card. The one I have is crisp on the corners, but it has that 1975 Topps ink blot. The
Oh, the
color,
print
the
dot.
print, the run, and it's right over his face. And I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. So, but some of the other ones are commons, and I'm pretty sure that maybe this afternoon I'll go search for a couple more and see what I can dig up and find. So yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty neat.
Well, yeah, no, it's awesome that you've got that set and you're working on it and you're 38 cards away from completion
Yeah,
and
of mint.
you got a new
Yeah,
project.
yeah, I've got it completed, but just need to upgrade just a little. Go from very good to excellent to that near mint. That's it's a battle. So
What do you do with your dupes then? Like that, let's say it's that Rice card. You know,
yeah,
you find the one you like, you replace it, you got this one. Are you selling it? Are you trading it? Are you
in
cashing
the
it for
past,
or-
in the past, sometimes I've sold it. So let's just say the Harmon Killebrew card I have now, I could maybe get $4 or $5 for it. Maybe that pays for half of the mint card. So I'm kind of doing some of that. I do some trading with Coach, who we mentioned before. So he's upgrading his set, and there's always somebody out there who wants to trade. And I may look into Facebook Marketplace as doing some trading with some people and upgrade, but I'm not sure. I have them in a box right now. So, but selling some of the stars maybe the idea. So,
All right. Well,
so
man, for my show and
yeah.
tell,
What do you got, Kelly?
I've got two cards today.
All right.
Here's the first one. This one will make our Wax and Felter brothers out west happy. Got myself a USFL card
Nice.
of Marcus Dupree here. I believe this is from the 85 USFL set. And the story of Marcus Dupree, do you know about this guy?
No, I remember there's something unique about him, but I can't. It would take me a while to figure it out.
ESPN did a 30 for 30 on him, and that's how I learned about him. It,
Yeah,
it was called The Best Who Never Was.
yeah.
And I mean, he was this awesome running back out of Mississippi. And then, back in the mid early 80s, everyone's like competing to get like his services. He ended up going to Oklahoma. He had like one standout season, but the other seasons were kind of injured. He ended up with in the USFL before going over to the Rams. So if you
Okay.
got a 1990 like pro set or scorecard, I
Yeah,
mean,
I do. Yeah,
that you'll probably find Marcus Dupree in there, but his story is an amazing one. And so I thought to myself, I need to get a card of him in his USFL days. The 84 Marcus Dupree card is pricier than the 85 here, but the 85 still doesn't look bad, man. It's still a pretty nice looking card, and it's a USFL card, and it just kind of takes me back to watching that 30 for 30 documentary and learning about Marcus Dupree. So
yeah,
definitely recommend you watching that on the old YouTube if you get bored.
yeah. Yeah, no, those USFL cards are really cool. I like those a lot.
Those
I've been
sets are expensive too,
I've been
man.
thinking
And
about
folks
getting
trying
a
to sell
couple
them in like
sets.
his original box.
Yeah,
Big time dollars, man.
yeah. I've been thinking about getting a set just to put away for the PC. But if I get a sealed one or something and spend the money, I want to see them. So I always have this like, what do I do? So
I don't know what I was thinking in 84 and 85. I was not buying USFL cards. I know
I
that.
was I was doing this guy. I was doing 85 tops and Dwight Gooden. I mean, come on, baseball had it. Football was still there, but not quite as much for me. So,
Well, you ready for
yeah.
card number two?
Yeah.
This is
What's your,
one that you
yes.
can relate to because it deals with dad life. Dun dun
Philip
dun.
Rivers?
Close. Dun dun dun. Go get your Happy Meal, folks.
What?
It
Oh,
is K-pop Demon Hunters.
oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yes, available at Mickey D's.
that's right. They are. My daughter knows, believe me.
Go ahead, get your set of 15, and your kids will be happy. You'll be happy. You'll be Nugget Life, little Matrix sauce in there, or whatever Hendrix sauce, whatever they're calling it these days, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny because I just went to the school dance a few weeks ago and it was K-pop Demon Hunters. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, here
Oh,
we go.
dude, that is like the sensation. If you thought what was it? Pokemon was huge, and it is. But apparently, K-pop, this whole thing is like with the youth of America, man. It's pretty
I don't
big.
know. I don't know how it's translatable to collectibles, but I'm sure we will find a way to make it.
This is
Besides
it, man.
those,
Go
yeah,
on, go buy your set now.
yeah, nice.
Well, let's while we're talking about the commercialization of our hobby, why don't we get
Yeah.
into the big topic? Unless you got another card to show off.
No, that's what I've got for my show and tell. So yeah, let's jump right into this. So, um, as we all know, if you're in the hobby and you're collecting, and you know about this company called Fanatics, and Fanatics is launching a credit card, which is interesting. So when we first mentioned this and we talked about it, I kind of dug into a little bit. I got to find out some details on this. What exactly does this Fanatics credit card mean? What are my views on it? And I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, so this new credit card is going to be partnered with Synchrony Bank, and they do a lot of department store credit cards and things like that. But I thought was interesting is the next adaptation. They're going to roll out a partnership with American Express this summer. You start thinking, okay, well, Amex is a big deal. I know, and you think about what else is out there. Okay, well, a sports credit card, not reinventing the wheel, but I think what Fanatics is doing is they have a way of encompassing and making a credit card just for the sports fan, which I think is pretty cool,
Or the
actually.
sports card hobbyist or the collectibles hobbyist, right?
Right, because with this card, you can earn fan cash, and fan cash is basically rewards for making certain purchases. You can on the credit card, you can earn fan cash for purchases of merchandise with the credit card, tickets, sports card collectibles, and their sports betting platforms. Which the last one does is I'm not as excited about, because sports betting platforms and commercializing it and making it more available to everybody, maybe not the best move overall, but you can earn up to 6% fan cash on merchandise and tickets and collectibles by going to fanatics.com and fansedge.com, and up to 10% on sports card on sports betting, which I thought was pretty unique. So Fan Cash wants to make their whole experience for the sports fan for you and keep you at FanDuel, not FanDuel, but Fan Cash and Fanatics, and make you a customer for life. There's no annual fee. APR is 29.99%. There's some things that you get when you sign up. You can earn $25 in Fan Cash by signing up after you do your first purchase. I think you get premier access to like online events and sports cards releases, which is pretty cool. They partner with Topps on things like that for like, Topps drops or Fanatic Fest. And what else was really intriguing about it? Oh, that Fan Cash can be redeemed across all their Fanatics platforms, which I think is pretty neat. So let's say it's Christmas, you're buying a couple jerseys for family members, you earn $80 in Fan Cash. You can take that Fan Cash and wait for the next Topps Heritage to come out and use that Fan Cash to buy sports card collectibles with. So it kind of its own
I mean,
inner world.
Patrick, the you know that like we as hobbyists were like completely irresponsible. We're degenerates,
Correct.
go crazy, but we're gonna apply for this credit card. We're gonna go and you know, I sit there and like as an adult, you have to have discipline. You have to understand like, hey, budgeting and paying off your credit card each month.
Yeah,
Most Americans can't even pay off their credit card bill in full each month, let alone what are they going to do when they get access to this ecosystem and they're
I
going to
know.
like whole hog, spend wild. Like, is
Yeah.
it a good thing? The
Yeah, I
ecosystem
thought
keep
about
that?
that. Morally, some people say, "Hey, this is a monopoly. You can't do this." Fanatics is trying to take over the world, and as far as the sports fan. But when you think about it, eBay has a credit card. Um, it doesn't really target one particular thing in general. It just basically says, hey, when you come to our platform and buy things, you get 5% off or 5% back. It doesn't partner with somebody like American Express, which if you're an American Express card member, they've got exclusive benefits and rewards tied into their system already. It's almost like some people go Amex and they never go anything else, as far as credit cards. So if you like that prestige and things like that, I mean, maybe that this is the card for you. But I
Do
think,
you think that they'll end up with like tiers, like, hey, oh, I'm a gold member or I'm a black card member, or do you see something like that
yeah,
happening in the hobby, and then therefore those in the system they get like preferential treatment, maybe they get access to certain releases ahead of time, or
yeah,
like how
yeah.
it's no longer a level playing field. It's like
No,
whoever
no,
sucks and
yeah,
the haves and the have-nots, and how's this
yeah.
fair
I totally
to
agree with
the
you.
common person?
I do agree with you on that. What I'm worried about is maybe there'll be preferential treatment for breakers, guys who get the first dibs on all these releases that are coming out, and it makes maybe the product a little bit, the scarcity of, like, I mean, it makes it a little harder for us as the average collector to be able to get some of these things. But I mean, there's still going to be, those product will still be released at retail stores, and there'll still be an opportunity to get it. But I understand exactly what you're saying. Kind of in the back end, you don't really know what's going on, so maybe that
Well,
preferential treatment will
I'll
happen.
be upfront with you. I saw this firsthand. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Um, Topps Chrome football making a comeback, right? First time in forever and a day. And I thought to myself, you know what? I would like to get a jumbo box or a hobby box of this product sentimentally.
Yeah,
And being a responsible adult, I have the funds. I thought, let's go ahead and try this. And so you log into the site and it says, hey, you got to get this EQL thing going. So I do that. I still don't get a box. I get nada. I can go and buy like, the mega box or the blasters, but you can go and buy that retail anywhere.
okay,
So, to me, I'm thinking to myself, like, again, this whole layered tiered system, I just don't see how it's good for the hobby, let alone for like just average Joes like myself or you trying to collect and enjoy the hobby for what it is, the cards.
yeah, Yeah, I mean, and being vintage guys, I mean, yeah, I totally agree. But I was trying to step out and be okay. Let me think like the 25-year-old collector. You know, who's driving this industry? You know, who are these people that are buying these hobby boxes and things like that? I think what I enjoy most about it is sports card collectibles are still in the forefront and they're not going anywhere. So I think to myself, in a selfish way, how, you know, it doesn't hurt the hobby. It may hurt the hobby in certain aspects, but the way I collect, I want sports card collectibles to be talked about all the time. You know, I want them to be in the forefront. I want there to be a new release that comes out and people say, oh wow, have you seen that the new Shohei card? Those are cool. The triple back green leaf clover cards that are coming out, you know, in March. You know, I want that excitement. I think these are all tools that keep that excitement going. And you know, Fanatics is not a small company, and they're a private company. And I think the CEO Michael Rubin, I mean, he's pretty unique in the way he approaches it. He approaches it like a startup. He was asked many times, are you going to go? Are you going to go public with this? Now you're introducing a, you know, credit card. What do you think about your revenue stream for that? He goes, he thinks it's going to be $1 billion, you know, profit stream for Fanatics.
Yeah, but again,
And
Patrick, they keep you're right. Fanatics is gonna get all the money at the end,
yeah,
and you don't have competition in the marketplace as far as like for goods and services as much if you have their credit card, their products, their marketplace. It's not how do you talk about like like the product innovation, competitive pricing. You're putting credit cards in like common people's hands that maybe they don't have the discipline to live on a budget and to pay off that credit card each month. We already talked about like the whole like having to get into breaks because you can no longer afford a box on its own or even
yeah,
acquire one. I I think this could end up really ugly, man, and a black eye for the hobby.
yeah. It drives the revenue of the hobby and creates maybe more people being interested in collectibles and things like that. But I think on the flip side, you know, he used to, I mean, he sold his GSR platform, I think it was called, to eBay, you know, 14, 15 years ago. And I think Michael Rubin's mindset then was like, you know, he had broad visions of growing certain things of his product, but there was no way of making it happen. So when he created Fanatics, I think he saw that because he said that I think he was quoted saying, you know, Amazon was a scary person back then. He says, you know, Amazon. I saw eBay and Amazon and all these big companies competing for, you know, market share of things. Well, he's kind of done it on his own.
Oh
Kind of
yeah,
what he,
Fanatics definitely has market share now,
yeah,
Patrick. I
what
agree,
he was scared of. But
100%.
but what the funny thing is, like he says, well, there's still eBay and Amazon and Nike and Adidas, and there's other companies that still are going to cater to the sports fan. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that's not exactly the collectible world as well. So it's a very unique sector, but I think there's something like 2 billion sports fans maybe in the world I read, and Fanatics appeals to about 140 million of them. So he's thinking of global capitalization. I mean, he wants to grow Fanatics to like, you know, up to $50 billion. That's crazy. So
He might even have a really nice golden parachute when it's all said and done.
I see the trepidation of what you're saying. It took me, I was 50-50 on some things, but I don't know, just the interest of talking about it. You know, we have a channel on YouTube. We're talking about it. I mean, it's driving interest and it's driving sports card collectibles, and it's not going to disappear in a couple years, and no one's going to collect cards anymore. I mean, I think that's my selfish view on it because I think I want to hear about it. I want to talk about a certain card that went to auction for $8 million. You know, I mean, I think
That
that's
drives interest in
interesting.
the hobby, like you said. The big
Yeah.
dollars, it draws eyes. Um, let's see what CardBlitz viewers are thinking. Put your comments below. Are you gonna apply for this credit card, or maybe you don't have to put that down, but do you think it's a good
Yeah.
thing or a bad thing? And like we're adults, you and I, and hopefully, I believe most of our viewers are adults. So let's see what they're thinking and see what their thoughts are, and maybe we'll circle back around, in a few months or in a year, and talk about this credit card thing again.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that I'm going to apply for it either. But um,
So you're at a
yeah, and a
Rebels
part.
game, or you're out there, you go to a Braves game or something, or an Orioles game. You're like applying for the credit card at the stadium, like in
Well,
the
yeah,
late '90s, early aughts.
yeah. Well, the nostalgia, Patrick, says maybe I don't want people diving into my. This is my hobby. This is our hobby. Maybe I don't want commercialization in our hobby. I don't want people scooping up all these old cards that I like, my '85 Saberhagens. I'd hate to one day look and they're worth $100 a piece and I can't afford to buy any of them. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
want
trade
that.
that 75 set anymore because
Yeah.
corporate dollars have come in and bought everything.
But then again, on the flip side, I also don't want what I have and what I'm interested in. I want to look at it and go, okay, that's cool. I like that. That had value to me. It's still going to have personal value, but it's nice to have monetary value as well. So I guess that's the fine line. How do you control that growth, and how do you control the way it's done? I don't know
Like
if
I said, man,
fanatics is.
maybe we reapproach this again in 6 months or a year, and let's see
Yeah.
where we're at,
Yeah,
man.
let's do that. I'd be interested right around the holidays, see what's happening. So,
Well, as we're wrapping up, man, let me try to stump you real quick, man.
okay, go
All
for
right,
it.
and it's Masters related because this is your world.
Okay.
Okay, so who is the first international non-American to win the Masters?
Ooh.
Do you want your four choices, or do you?
Yes, I'll probably have to have four. I have one in my mind, but let's try it.
Okay,
Yeah.
A. Vijay Singh. B. Gary Player. C. Is it pronounced Seve Ballesteros?
Sevi Ballesteros. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, your Spanish is better than mine today.
Yeah.
Or D. Sandy Lyle.
B. Gary Player,
If you
South
said Gary
Africa.
Player, you are correct, Patrick.
Yes.
You know your Masters history and you know this golf sport way better than I, and your Spanish is better than mine. So you need to come back to Texas, man. Get us some Tex-Mex and go order for us.
Yeah. I cannot wait. I'm actually flying into Dallas on the 23rd of April, but unfortunately, I can't. I wish I could see you. Maybe we could have lunch or something like that,
Yeah,
Kelly.
man,
But
let's see if we can meet up for a few, man, before you
yeah,
head south or east or
and
wherever you're
it's
headed, man.
golf related. It's my alumni golf tournament. So there you go. I'm tying it all together, guys, just for you.
You're gonna be out there doing that and all that good stuff, man. Your
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah. Good stuff. So,
Well, let's put a bow on this thing, man. It's Saturday, and I'll get
yep.
this thing out Sunday because I got like soccer dad life and wife and kids, so busy on my end. But
Yep.
how do you want to tie this up, man?
Just keep this thing going. You know, I mean, let's just keep this momentum going. I mean, I think we had a great topic today. I think we can expand on things, and I'm excited. I'm going to go dig through some old cards again after
Well,
we get off this.
I was gonna say, man, Bret Saberhagen and Mark Teixeira, if y'all ever want to jump on CardBlitz and talk cards with us, we can do that, or even baseball in general. If the CardBlitz viewers, let us know about your the thoughts on the credit card thing, as well as some of the other hobby topics, like getting into this K-pop Demon Hunter life.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
maybe
see you guys.
there'll be a run on Happy Meals now. Thanks,
Definitely,
Kelly.
man. Hey, just like in Japan, man, they sold out one day, man. They were done with it. So, I
Wow.
guess on that note, we'll catch y'all on the next one, right?
Yep. See you guys.
Take care. See
All right.
you.